I guess that's a yes. What do I know?
1, 2, 1, 2. I'm just seeing. Discord!
Whoa. Do we have to be quite that loud and hot?
I can't help how hot I am, man. It's a blessing and a curse.
Ooh, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Boom, boom.
What the hell, man? What?
What is the copy? Copy, paste.
Where's HomeKit? What HomeKit? What? Add device? Add scene, add automation. I don't know. Add accessory? Okay.
Do you know what you're doing? What are you doing?
No, just fucking off. Honestly, just completely fucking off right now. Oh, I guess I need to send you guys a Zencaster link, maybe?
Yeah. Why does my Windows not want to work? Don't switch.
John, I realized I never.
That's a
told you
login.
You what?
Set the dashboard instead of the link to the show.
Motherfucker. Fucker of mothers. Hey, get that on the stream early. Hey, that URL is different too.
Make sure we get demonetized ASAP.
We have to be monetized to be demonetized.
Oh,
Sure.
is that how that works? I always get that confused.
Yeah.
It's a real catch-22.
All right.
1, 2, 1, 2. Freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never said he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which
I just didn't want you to be concerned.
What's wrong there, Thomas?
I'd love to know.
Joe, we're trying to go. We can't.
Joe. Roger.
Well, we're assuming we're still on air. We don't know at this point.
That's true, huh?
Let's see what happens.
Are you streaming again? Do we have to do another link?
No, still streaming.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly, cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can't nobody go beyond this. I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we feel
It's fine. The stream's fine. Don't worry about it.
language. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
That's upsetting that did not work at all.
What didn't work? Everything seems to. I mean, yeah, the feedback didn't come in, but
Yeah, the monitoring didn't work, and I guess it was skipping.
it's always skipping.
Yeah, except this is not the same computer.
Well, that would be a problem.
Yes, significant problem.
All right, I don't got all night. We ready to do this? I got like things to dream about. Are we gonna go? We ready to go?
Go.
All right. You're listening to episode
Nope.
Not recording. Not recording in
Just
Zencaster.
hold on. Wait. Why is everybody saying something? Just relax. Can we go? We're good?
Yes.
I don't know what's wrong with you all.
Yep. We can go.
Amateurs.
With amateurs.
It's just what I was thinking.
You're listening to episode 273 of the award-winning. No, actually, that's not true. It's just PHPUgly. I'm sorry. Try to make it more than it was. I'm your host, Eric, and with me is Tom Rideout
Hello.
and John Congdon.
I was trying to find some funny hippie quote and I couldn't find one.
Just talk, John. You just ooze hippiness out of you.
War is over if you want it. I don't know.
Wow. Went
Worst
all the way
hippie
hippie. Yeah.
It was the first thing that came up when I was looking up a hippie quote.
Okay, why are you upset up? Why are you looking for a hippie quote?
You're assuming upset is the word that you should be using.
I'm sorry, hippie. I'm sorry. Why are you looking for a hippie quote?
Everybody be quiet. The yuppie's apologizing.
I got called a hippie in Discord. I don't know. It was funny to me. So I tried to do my hair up a little bit more,
Hipster.
All right. If I thought about it, an hour earlier, I would have tried to figure out what a hippie wears and try to dress up for the show.
You know what
But
those
that didn't
hippies are
work out
known
so well.
for is the cleanliness of their hair.
That was what was pointed out when I asked. I'm like, what do you mean hippie? What did I miss?
Oh, all
I
right.
mean, what came I can't
So,
find my-
like I stated, this is kind of a new computer. I did a motherboard swap, got myself a nice Ryzen 3 3600 in here now, and was hoping that would fix some of the stuttering issues and the encoding issues that we have. The encoding issues seem to be fixed, but it still appears to be stuttering a little bit. And Yeah, so the board that was in here was an Intel board, and I just straight up swapped the whole motherboard and CPU, and didn't even bother like reinstalling Windows or anything. Just turned it back on and started using it again, which might contribute to some of the problems. So I'll probably end up reinstalling Windows at some point soon.
That sounds like fun.
It's not that bad anymore. Windows 10 is pretty easy.
It's more once you reinstall, then you got to install everything else, right?
No, I have a flash drive that just sort of restores me to a default config.
All I know is I tried to do it in a virtual machine recently, and I was trying just to reinstall Windows, and I thought I chose the option to save all my stuff, but literally all it did was save my files. I still had to reinstall all the applications, and it was a pain in the ass for sure. But then again, I'm not a Windows guy, so I'm sure I did something wrong.
It would have been good if you had some backups, John. Just planting that seed.
You guys have some sort of data recovery issue?
No.
That was last month.
We had a funny thing happen though. A little inside baseball for you guys. John and I, we brainstorm on things like the cover of the magazine and like the last minute layout stuffs and how things work out and related reading, all the like the very last minute details of putting the magazine together. And it surprisingly takes a long time to do. Like it's really a lot more involved than you would think it would be for two grown ass men to get accomplished. And one of the hardest things we struggle with is coming up with the title for each month, because we try to make it engaging and related to, if not a common theme through the magazine, at least one or two of the articles. And
we're 5 titles in. I don't think we've hit engaging once yet. I'm just saying.
No, not really. February turned out to be a particularly challenging title for us, and we were really pushing ourselves to get it released in the first week, which, as we talked about last week on the show, we were very excited that we were able to do that. But we finally come up with the title, we finally come up with the layout, and we get everything done. And then John tells me the next day, he lost it. I'm like, wait, what do you mean you lost it? He's like, it's not on my computer anymore. I'm like, that's not a thing. It's got to be there somewhere. Nope, it's gone. We got to redo it. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. So the title of February is actually the second title because we couldn't remember what we called it the first time.
And I'm still not entirely sure what happened, because I do get reset hard all the time in like my daily projects.
Can't possibly figure out what happened, but I did a get reset hard.
But it's not supposed to delete files that aren't in the repo. And I'm pretty sure these files weren't in the repo. So
pretty sure a reset hard does delete files that aren't.
I'm telling you, I do it all the time in my project.
Really?
I will reset a branch to a specific place, and I have plenty of files that aren't in the repo that are just fine. So I'm still not sure what I did. I just know I happened to do a get reset hard prior to going back to work on the magazine or work on the cover. So my assumption is that is what did it, but I'm still don't know that.
Anyways, so we had to do the February cover twice, and we couldn't remember what we titled it the last time.
I still think the title we came up with the second time is the same one we did the first time. I
can guarantee you it wasn't.
I definitely came up with that title the first time.
No, you did, and I shot it down the first time. Maybe it's all part of the plan.
I lost it so I could use my title.
You were banking on the fact that I wouldn't remember.
I didn't like my title either.
Oh,
yeah. So you settled on parallelize your code.
Right. Like he just wants me to have to say that word. Yeah.
That's the point. I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense. It's not a word.
It's not, but it's funny. Nobody else is complaining. Move on.
Well, there's no one else on the phone here to complain with us. I mean, we got the Discord. We have any complainers there?
Yeah. That's what you do. Is like
Ask
them
the
out.
chat.
Will you
They're
please
always
complain?
nice.
There you go. That'll work. Eric, how was your week? Let's get moving on there.
My week was pretty good. We had Laracon Online this week. I don't know if anybody attended that.
I've started bits and pieces. It's 12 hours.
It was long.
It was way too expensive. I wasn't going to attend it.
It was free.
It was too expensive. Even free.
On a time scale. Because I was getting tweets that were like, hey, Laracon's great this year. And I was like, oh, I forgot to check it out. So I pulled up the YouTube to see if it was archived, and it was still going.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, it's 5 o'clock here. That's crazy.
And it doesn't look like they're going to break down the talks. I mean, they put the chapter links in them, so you can click to each talk. But it looks like they're just going to keep it one long talk. Yeah, makes it easier to bounce around. But there are some good talks. Somebody did a talk. So in Discord a couple weeks ago, when I was talking about my development environment and the DevilBox Docker configuration I use, somebody had brought up Lando. And Lando looks more and more appealing. Like, it looks more and more of what I want. I'm not sure about a couple aspects of it, but it lets you configure like different versions of PHP for different projects and all this other stuff. But I cannot get it installed on my Linux machine. First off, I'll throw this in Discord so everybody has a link to this. Because I already have my Docker configuration. I already have Docker and stuff installed on my Linux machine. And for some reason, it wants to install Docker CE, which I'm not sure what that is, but it wants me to uninstall my existing Docker packages to install it. I'm like, whoa. That's not happening. Like, I spend, this is running and I need this to keep running. So
are you running Docker desktop?
What? No, I'm not running Docker desktop. No.
Not on Linux.
What are you talking about?
That's
no,
not
Docker just works on Linux. Like, it's supposed to work. It's there's nothing else to install. It just works. It's a beautiful thing. But I really wanted this Lando. I really want to use this Lando. And there was somebody on Laracon doing a talk on Lando, and it just made me want to use it more. I'm like, damn it, that looks cool. I really want to use that. I mean, because the biggest thing, the thing that appeals to me the most is that, again, each project, not only can you have particular versions of PHP, but you have particular extensions, different databases, different configurations. The one thing I'm not sure of is how it handles all the port stuff. Like, it looks, every time I look at it, it looks like it just knows how to. It looks like it's doing some sort of reverse proxy or something, because it gives you a URL, so you're not hitting a IP address. You're hitting whatever mydev.local or whatever you're working on at the time. And it just handles it all, but it lets you customize. So I really want to install it, but I'm really nervous about uninstalling my existing Docker environment to get there. I'm hoping there's another solution at some point.
Discord has a solution here for you.
Do they?
Discord to the rescue.
Yeah.
And if you're not in our Discord channel, discord.phpugly.com. Join us. You can call me a hippie, and maybe I'll ban you. That's just the way I roll.
Yeah. So Charlton, you're saying you can keep your existing Docker, just skip, ignore, no. But I'm trying to install it through a package manager, and the package for Lando won't install because it doesn't see that Docker CE is installed, and Docker CE won't install because they have the other Docker packages installed. So yeah, see, you picked up ports. Charlton, were you the one that was telling me about Lando last week?
He's a contributor.
I'm going to I'm working on getting an article written up about this because I need more information. It's important to me.
You've got to join our Discord channel. I'm telling you now. The Tom faces in there just makes it makes it so worth it.
Yes.
How do you feel
about that?
Being about a half a dozen avatars now?
It's great.
you used a lot.
Yeah, as soon as the avatars for me were created, they started getting used everywhere.
I gotta say, I'm not unhappy with it. I'm very, very pleased.
How was your week, John?
My week was decent. It was good. We launched a new giveaway that we're doing with PHP Architect.
I saw this.
If I could find my way over here. Oh, yeah, there it is. I will share it in the show notes. Yeah, I mean, it's a free entry thing. It's obviously we're trying to use it for social marketing and to get out there some more. But with our friends over at OSMI/OSMH as a rebranding, we are giving away a Raspberry Pi to go along with the series that we're doing, How to Hack Your Home with a Raspberry Pi. Ken Marks has been writing it. February was his second issue, kind of stepping through how he's setting up a Pi, installing software on it. And in the coming month or two, he's going to talk about applications he's actually written that he uses in his home. So it's been interesting. And then Open Sourcing Mental Health stepped in and said, hey, we want to contribute. We'll help give away a Raspberry Pi to some listeners and readers. So that's what we're doing. We found a kit that we like, and just go over the links in the show notes. But if you go to phpa.me/pi2, PI2, you'll get there pretty quickly.
It's a nice little kit for doing like facial recognition and automation stuff. It's got a camera and a couple servos.
I saw that.
Linear actuators.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a fun little kit.
Yeah.
And the thing about this particular series that Ken is writing for PHP Architect is that, as somebody who I've gone through several Pi tutorials, and there's usually they usually fall under two categories: super simple beginner, I'm going to install the OS and get some Python script running, to way over my head, electronics master degree implementing something. Ken kind of drops right between. It's not your typical here's the basics of a Raspberry Pi and how to use it. He's actually installing sensors. He's using it in a real world scenario. He's speaking directly to me because he's doing this in PHP. I mean, I couldn't be happier with the way the series is going. I'm looking forward to seeing what he contributes every month. I am so I'm so happy I get to read it before y'all get to read it. But yeah, it was good. And then we had what else? We had a Laravel 9 come out this week. Along with that was a mistake. What's wrong?
I've been getting lots of questions about my opinion on Laravel 9.
I'm sure you have a glowing review of it.
What issue could you possibly have with Laravel 9?
I really only have two significant issues. You guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I just lost.
What's up?
I just lost video. Okay, it's back. Weird.
Oh, the stream lost it too. Oh, hey, we're back, stream.
Weird. My Logitech service just crashed. Somebody's trying to stop me.
It's your microwave. Calm down.
No, I got a new one. I haven't insulted this one. My first thing is it's pretty simple. If you go to the docs for Laravel 9, the release notes state pretty clearly, you have to run PHP 8. It's a minimum of PHP 8.
Which is a good thing. I mean, it's keeping
which is
people
great.
moving forward.
It's great. It's because Symfony requires PHP 8, and the version of Symfony that Laravel is built off of upgraded.
And that is actually worth noting, because in Laracon, in Taylor's talk, he even touches on the fact that they stayed on Laravel 8 longer than any other previous release of Laravel. They felt like they could have continued growing Laravel 8, but that their hand was basically being forced with the packages that they depend on, making it to the point where, okay, they have to upgrade to PHP 8 and upgrade the Laravel version.
Sure, that's fine. So why are enums a part of functionality in Laravel now?
What do you mean, why?
Enums, there's a new function in Laravel, enum eloquent attribute casting, as well as implicit route bindings with enums.
Right.
Enums are not in 8.0.
Oh, they're 8.1.
They're 8.1.
Yes, he says that in the he does mention that in his talk as well.
I mean, it's great that he acknowledges it, but why is the minimum version 8 if the framework actually requires 8.1 to function the way it's released?
It doesn't if you're not using that functionality, right?
But you don't know if you're using that functionality because it's part of the framework. So it could be in a package that you're using. So one of these packages that I'm using decides to upgrade to support 9 and says, hey, the enum thing's cool. I'm going to integrate that too.
That's fair. That's a fair argument. I'm gonna give that one to you.
Like this, I understand that he wants enums in it, and he can release that as a separate package or whatever and say, like, hey, this is a recommended package. It requires 8.1. But to straight up like say that the minimum requirement is 8, but then stuff like is just not going to work maybe because 8.1 is actually the recommended version. It's totally a useless thing to do. Why not just say the minimum version is 8.1? If you're comfortable having features that are 8.1 based, make it an 8.1 requirement. Like it's a huge misstep in compatibility and versioning support and moving forward. Like, why not 8.2? Why not just include features that are in 8.2 and have them as part of the default, or like beta features that are in 9? Like, yeah, it's not supported until 9 gets released.
You had a good argument. You should pump the brakes now because it's starting to just get stupid.
I'm just saying, like,
you'd won Eric over. Slow down.
If I have PHP 8 installed, I would expect that all of the tests would pass.
We get what you're saying, and like I said, I think you have a valid argument, especially when you start pulling out of the packages. That's true.
Roger, that's a good point. It should be, but it may not be. Roger says, would 8.1 be a dependency of third-party packages? And hopefully they
no,
would.
It should inherit it. It should inherit it from the functions that it's using.
If it's a third-party package,
he has a point.
No, right. As a third-party package.
Thomas, he has a point though. If you go to install a third-party package, they could put in there that the minimum requirement is 8.1 because they're using enums.
Or it could be 8.0 because that's the requirement of Laravel.
But if you write a package that uses enums and you know it needs to be on 8.1, why wouldn't you include that requirement in your composer JSON?
Yeah, as a third-party package, you don't necessarily go just with the minimum requirements of the package that you're building on top of. It's what you need in order to run.
So I think you have a valid point, Tom, and I think it's something people need to be wary of. But I don't think it was that big of a misstep because He wanted enums are cool. I got to work with enums. I think they're cool.
Okay.
And
But it's not a required use. It's not a required use. So
for me, if I install Laravel, if I download Laravel framework from Git and run all the unit tests, a bunch of them will fail for no enum support, because enum support is tested and will fail on 8.0. So when you say that the minimum required version is 8, but 8 won't pass a build test, then
you've already won the argument.
I'm just saying it's not a small. I don't think it's a small thing. I think it's a fundamental misstep.
I think it is.
The small thing is he could just say the minimum requirement is 8.1.
The only reason I disagree is you don't have to use that piece of the code. You don't have to use enums.
Sure,
you're not.
So
the
minimum requirement for Laravel could be 5.4.
But you're not using enums if you're
right. But if you're not using Eloquent, you're not going to run into any problems running it in MySQL 4 or in PHP 5.4.
So can I ask you a question? You have a good argument. Why do you have to take it to such an extreme?
Because I think it's a bigger issue than you guys are accepting.
I'm sorry.
That parts of the framework just aren't compatible with the version that it says it is. That's, to me,
a functionality, which is documented. But yes, again, you have a valid argument. You have a completely valid argument. Nobody's shorting you on that. But I think you're taking it too far by trying to make it a bigger deal than it actually is.
Well, okay. I'm just saying, if I have 8.0 installed and part of my build pipeline is running unit tests, my system won't deploy Laravel 9 on an 8.0 server.
You don't run the unit tests of the packages, though, do you?
Some pipelines do. Some pipelines make sure that everything, even third-party libraries that include tests, get run so that you know that everything that got updated works correctly.
That's interesting. I've never seen that personally. Not saying it doesn't happen,
but who's comfortable deploying code that doesn't pass unit tests?
Tom, I'm going to help you out. Tom.
Does
don't
your
upgrade to Laravel 9.
Wait.
I'm not.
Wait. Tom.
Yeah.
Does your pipeline currently run all the tests in your vendor directory, or just your tests in your application?
Not our automated pipeline, but some of our build pipelines do. I'm on 8.1. I'm not worried about this for me. I'm just saying this is bad. This is a bad thing to do to a framework that millions of people use, is have this conditional, like, oh, if you're running the latest version, then this thing will work.
Well, that's actually true. If you are running the latest version, that thing will work.
Yeah. But if you're running the minimum requirement, it won't.
Yep.
That's a bad thing to have in the framework.
You nailed it. Well, if you're running the minimum requirement, you can't run that functionality, so you have no reason to use it. So
no reason?
All good.
What if you build it in?
All good.
You build it into something else. I'm just
build
saying.
What into something else?
Never mind. I'm glad you agree with me.
I do.
But that's not my biggest. That's not my biggest issue. My biggest issue is that all of the third-party packages have to upgrade to Laravel 9 support.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I brought up in the past, and I wasn't going to bring up, but I looked at how long ago it was, and it was quite some time ago. There's a lot of stuff about Semver in the conversation about releasing Laravel 9. And while I agree that the framework itself is following Semver, the components of the framework are not. So if I'm writing a package for Laravel that uses the Illuminate support functionality, which is part of the build pipeline for Laravel, the framework, then I can specify a version 7, 8, 9 that's the minimum required version. If you pull up the tag for Illuminate support, where they went from Laravel 8 to Laravel 9, there's 2 methods added. There's no backwards breaking changes. And the two methods are helper methods for the 2-string magic method. So like, this is not a breaking change by any means. And if I'm writing a helper for Laravel that only uses the contents of that package did not change enough to warrant a major version change. So why did it get upgraded from 8 to 9 with almost no changes to the code itself? And the reason is that all the packages that are used to build the Laravel framework are versioned the same as the framework, and that's not Semver. And that's the reason that I have so much difficulty upgrading to 9, because every package that lightly touches the Laravel components, someone has to go into now, create a pull request just to upgrade the number in the composer.json. No actual changes. You just change the number, run the unit tests, and now it works. But I have to wait for all of the open source developers who develop for Laravel to do this. So if I look up a packagist and just look for Laravel packages, I get
And then if you're
7
using,
pages of results.
if you're using a thing like Dependabot that watches your packages, then all of a sudden it's constantly pinging you like, hey, you got to update this and update that.
Right.
And then, like, I know we have it set to only update, I think, 5 packages at a time. So otherwise you just get flooded constantly with them.
Right.
And then it's like a never ending stream at that point.
So
Michael Dorinda says you're full of shit.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No.
He says the components are split from the framework.
Yeah, they're split, but they all seem to update their major version at the same time.
Right. And when you're developing a package, you don't require the Laravel framework. You require the components that you're interacting with in the Laravel framework. So you require Illuminate support. And I can tell you, like, 7 pages, like, 1,000 Laravel specific packages. If you go in and look at the code for them, the composer JSON just says, under require, Illuminate database, Illuminate support. That's it. Like, that's all the components of Laravel that it uses. And if neither of those,
it doesn't say the version of Illuminate support.
Oh, it does 8?
Yeah.
Okay, so won't it always lock to that version of Illuminate support?
But that's the problem is when you install 9, it requires Illuminate 9. So you can't install the third-party package until they update their composer file.
Right.
That's his complaint.
Is that Illuminate support didn't change from 8 to 9.
That's not an issue with Laravel though. That's just a dependency issue that you have with anything where you're using composer.
It's an issue with the structure of Laravel's release tagging. So if you go to Symfony right now is building.
I'll back you up on this, Tom. Just to help you out here.
So let me breathe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what he's talking about is a third-party package shouldn't need to update unless their actual dependencies changed. And what he's saying is the Illuminate package itself didn't change enough to warrant a 8 to 9 version change. So now you got all of these packages that have to update their code in order to be able to be included with a Laravel 9 application. When there's no reason for it to have done so.
Even if there's no reason to. There are plenty of these Illuminate packages that got no modification from 8 to 9. They just got retagged as 9. And the Laravel framework requires all of these packages to be at 9.
Where in a normal thing like Symfony, you have Symfony's making major jumps, but all of their minor or sub packages that aren't changing just stay where they're at because there's no need to change them.
Right.
Just somebody with Laravel decided they want all of their packages to be at the same version, so there's no confusion.
So what Michael Dorinda is saying, that the Illuminate repos, which hold all of these libraries, these support libraries and stuff, are generated out of the current version of Laravel. So they're all tagged from the version that they're coming from, whereas Symfony is constructed from these packages into the new version of Symfony. And I get that that's why this is happening, but that doesn't mean it's the correct way for it to happen. What should be happening is Laravel should be building out of the packages, not creating the packages with its own version number. Because these packages, Laravel 9 could be the easiest possible upgrade for me, but I'm not going to be able to do it for 2 or maybe 3 months because there's going to be PRs that get ignored from third-party people who are too busy to care. And I just have to sit and wait, or I have to fork it and run it off of my own fork, which means even like more crappy modification to my composer JSON. And I've done this since 4. Since Laravel 4 got released, I've had to do it every time a version came out. And yeah, and I get why it's being done, but that doesn't make it correct.
Okay.
I mean, at that point, why not just why not just require
Let's
people
move
to
on.
include the framework
Let's
instead of the
move
individual
on.
libraries?
Jesus Christ. Was there anything that you're excited about with Laravel 9?
Well, before he gets too excited, it was also shared in there that Taylor acknowledged that Laravel 9 is no longer not listed as LTS. I think he meant, long-term support. I think they're waiting on something with Symfony in order to be able to make it long-term support. But we'll continue getting upgrades for 2 years, security updates for at least 2 years.
Yeah, I had heard that the idea of LTS just didn't make sense anymore with the new release cycle.
Oh, okay. So Taylor is acknowledging he's waiting for Symfony to bump their minimum version to PHP 8.1.
Ha!
But he can do it. He can just do it on Laravel.
He can. I agree.
If you write a library and you require the 8.1 features, then you just tag
Which is
your
what we're talking about with
libraries
everything else.
requiring 8.1, right?
With all the sub
So with
things,
that, so that's the answer.
All right, good point.
New accessors and mutators are pretty cool. There's an attribute casting thing that happens, which is it's nice. You put your accessor and mutator in the same function, and you have the get and setter set in the attribute. I think it's cool. The enum implicit route bindings are something that we're doing in a sort of hacky way already on my system, and I won't mind seeing that implemented in the correct way. I think full text index support and the new Scout database engine are a terrible idea. But that's just because people won't know not to use it. If you don't know, full text search is like slow and bad.
Yeah, but it's meant to be used with something with small data sets.
Sure.
It's meant to be used in yes, obviously it will be abused. But like for me personally, I love the fact that Scout now has a driver for MySQL, and MySQL now has a full text search. So it's not trying to like fake it and do a like search or anything like that.
Oh, totally.
Because
and I can see the I can see the database engine being very helpful for development environments where you have Scout pointing at one place on production and you have it on your local system and local. I just don't worry about abuse.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just. I mean that would just be a poor developer who does that. But for example, our Argus environment, I had to spin up a Melee search server and set up indexing and all for our FAQs. And it's just like they're just FAQs. I have like a dozen FAQs in there. I could just throw this at the I could just throw it at the database and it'll work fine. So I was happy to see that. I do think that you need to be cautious of when and where you use it, but I think it's cool.
Yeah. There's improved validation of nested array data. This is something I use a ton, and I've had hacky solutions for it, but now there's an official solution. I like it. And the new ignition page is nice. The new route list.
What's the ignition page?
That's the exception page that's thrown when there's an unhandled
The error
exception.
page that pops up.
Yeah.
Why not just call it the
Most
error
of the times-
page or exception page?
Because it's ignition is the name of the package they use for it.
Yeah.
It's the new version.
So confused.
Requires 7.5.
You get confused very easily.
Hey,
You know what else confuses people?
what?
How to write good APIs.
We'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode, HookRelay.dev. HookRelay.dev allows you to create powerful webhooks without having to create all of the groundwork yourself. Sure, the basics of sending webhooks are easy, but to add more powerful features takes time and effort. That's where HookRelay.dev saves the day. Have you ever tried sending data to third parties that have strict API limits? Do you handle those failures caused by those limits properly using traditional back-off algorithms? Stop worrying about third parties with flaky servers and let HookRelay.dev continue trying to reach them for you. Resending failed webhooks, or just resending for testing, is as simple as clicking a button. You can also be the recipient of webhooks. That's right, HookRelay.dev handles both inbound and outbound webhooks. HookRelay.dev can catch the request and then send them to your servers. And best of all, reporting. Writing code to track success failures, create reports, and more is already done with HookRelay.dev. Try HookRelay.dev's free tier today. Get 3 endpoints, 14-day retention, and 100 deliveries per day. Thank you, HookRelay, for sponsoring today's episode.
Thank you.
HookRelay.
Oh, this whole upgrading my computer thing has worked out so well.
Maybe you should have used Simber. What? That didn't make sense.
So is this the
so-
graphics card you've been showing us for the past 2 or 3 weeks? You finally got that put in?
The CPU. Yeah. But no.
You also kept showing us a graphics card too.
No, I didn't get a new graphics card. No one can get a new graphics card right now.
Oh. Whoops. Yep, that's what I was talking about. Go ahead.
No, I have my gaming machine, and it got the nice new stuff. And I took what was in my gaming machine and put it on my new desktop machine. But I do have an RTX 2080 Super.
Listeners to our audio podcast, Tom is trying to flex to our Discord.
Oh, not trying. I just did. Test coverage in the artisan test command, which I think is awesome. I am so excited about it.
Mhm.
There's also the inclusion of an Echo server, a server for WebSocket connections written in Go. What was it written in?
I didn't
Oh,
catch that
Node.
one, I don't know.
It was written in Node.
Yeah.
And collections now report their methods to IDEs correctly, so your IDEs will try to autofill things nicely. But I sort of don't use my
Did
IDE
not do that
autofills.
before?
It didn't very well, but now it's much improved.
Okay.
But I don't.
Well-
I'm still riding high on Copilot. I had a class that Copilot wrote half of for me the other day.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna be on this again. It drives me nuts when when that thing pops up. Half the
God.
time, it pops up a suggestion and I can't move anything in my IDE until I have to hit escape 5 times before I can do anything with it.
Sounds like
Because
no,
you're supposed to just embrace it. You're supposed
It's
to
like-
accept.
It's like, no, I don't want the suggestion. Go away. There are times where it is helpful and it's like, oh yeah, I was gonna type that anyway. Tab.
Do you see Spadey's route auto discovery package?
Is it a Laravel thing?
Yeah, it was
Then
just
no.
during the It was
Then
during
no.
Laracon.
I told you Laracon was too expensive. I did not attend.
Yeah, no, he showed off a really cool package that allows you to use attributes, native attributes in PHP for defining routes on controllers. It's very slick.
Yeah,
I'm still torn on that. I don't
wasn't a fan
understand that.
of it with Symfony. Not a fan of it now.
Well, it's native now.
I'm definitely going to have to warm up to that. I don't care if it's native. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Get off my lawn.
See, the nice thing for me is right now, if I have a route, if I have the URL for a route, I have to go into my routes file or files and search for that route and then find the controller that it references and then go in that controller and find the method. But now I can just pop open, I can pop up my ID and search for the URL and it gives me straight to the...
Can't you do that and go straight to the routes file that you need to get to and then to the method?
Yeah, it's still one more step.
It's one more step.
God, but you have to click one more thing. Jesus.
But for me,
inconvenience Tom.
Yeah, for me, it's now I know where I can go to look for the routes. If I don't know the route, there's like one, maybe a small handful, and they're all in the same place versus spread throughout the entire code base.
And you can group them, and with the new what did he call it? Routes grouping or controller grouping, controller grouping and routes. I mean, that just makes it super sweet. So that was something else that was announced in Laravel 9 is there's a new route group for controllers where you just define the controller at the top, and then for your routes you just define the method that it goes to.
Oh,
so you group all your controllers.
How does the annotation piece work for if you're attaching middleware to a specific route? Can you?
Yeah, you just annotate you say what the middleware is in the annotation. Or you put it in a group. You say it's a member of this group, and this group has this rule for middleware.
So you annotate the group somewhere else?
Yeah, or you define the group in the routes file, wherever you want it.
So to understand everything that's associated with a route that you're looking on, you still have to go to a routes file and see everything that's in that group? I'm not being a smartass. I'm asking an honest question because I don't know.
You kind of have to do that anyways for routes because there's implicitly bound middleware. So you don't necessarily see what middleware you're running just by looking at the routes file either. You have to look into what kernel.php.
Sounds like a huge pain in the ass.
It can be, yeah. Yeah, there's middleware groups already in the kernel. And there's also route middleware that is defined to specific routes.
That's all just like the standard stuff. I mean, yeah, if you want to be a bad developer, you could add more there, but why would you?
It's not necessarily bad developer. You have to remove stuff from there too quite a bit, and you can assign roles to certain middleware.
And as Bucky is trying to be smart and say, hey, there's an artisan command for this. Just list all your routes.
Yeah.
Okay, you got me there.
What else got to make over?
So this week I also had a long conversation with my team about code review. And we still don't have a good answer.
There's a good answer in February's issue of PHP Architect where they say they teach you how to learn through code review.
That article, I have it right here.
Or it was teaching through code review, wasn't it? Yeah. There you go.
February?
Good. Yep, for sure.
Teaching through code review by Derek Binkley. Yeah, I'll have to read that. I'm looking for a good tool to manage code review because Jira just doesn't quite cut it. And I haven't really found anything. And I found a good tool for QA, which is TestRail. And I'm working on implementing that next week in our team. But code review still stumps us quite a bit. you get a whole blob, you get 5,000 lines of changes, and you just sort of go numb when you stare at it.
That's about being a good team member and breaking your PR up and then screwing it up because you tried breaking it up. I've been there.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that I would like a code review tool where I could issue a PR and then split it up into sections and say, like, hey, these sections are model updates and they're related to this. This section is controller updates and they're related to this. Like,
versus multiple PRs that target like a feature branch.
right. Because there's no good way for our team to work with multiple PRs either. Multiple PRs for one ticket gets too confusing. It's hard to tell when that ticket's been approved.
But if you made a feature branch for that ticket, and then all the PRs targeted that feature branch, so that you could have smaller PRs, again, all of the changes within a PR kind of being cohesive, hopefully easy to say, oh yeah, that makes sense. The hard part for me is in my last big feature that I tried to do this on, the code, while you could review it, you couldn't test it because it relied on things in another branch that hadn't been approved yet.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the PRs were smaller and hopefully more reviewable.
Yeah, it's been a very tricky issue for us to resolve. If anyone knows of any like third-party services that can like assist with code review, that'd be nice. I'm trying to get static analysis as part of our pipeline to like do some automated code reviews, check spelling and do some linting and stuff. But
PHP Stan is awesome.
It is. I just have to spend the time to get it working.
Are you using that, John?
Yep. Yeah. I didn't set it up. Somebody else set it up, but we have a book at PHP Architect on it. Grumpy does a good job of stepping through how he updates his code using PHP Stan and iteratively. So you start out with it at a very low setting, make the changes you need to make, and then you can progressively make PHP Stan more aggressive. So it's a good step-by-step process. It's the complimentary guide to testing by Chris Hartjess over at phparchitect.com or phparch.com. They both work.
I just
Architect
realized
is hard to spell.
I just realized I've got the wrong logo on the
Oh yeah, look at that. We've got a new logo. And Tom is frozen and gone. Bye, Tom. We're not. Are we still on YouTube?
Everything's going great.
I'll tell you in a minute.
I haven't had any problems with this wonderful upgrade of my computer.
It happens. Who's excited about the Super Bowl coming up? I'm not.
I am looking forward to it. But yeah, I was telling a friend recently that I think one of the nicest things about my new house is I'm in the Los Angeles TV market. So I like get all the best sports games on my TV now. Like all the stuff I was missing down in San Diego. Like everything that's good is on television out here. So I'm very happy. I get to watch all the good games now.
Why was it blocked in San Diego? I thought normally things were blocked only because the team was in that area. So what was blocked?
No, it's the viewers are in that area.
Right. San Diego is a small market, so they don't get like the high end games. A lot of the high end games that like cost more money, they won't get those. You know, people have to pay like for premium services and stuff to see them. But here, like every Lakers game is on. I feel like all the Lakers game rooms are on San Diego as well. But I'm like seeing so many more games. I'm seeing a lot more Brooklyn Nets, a lot more hockey more than I saw down in San Diego. I just feel like every time I turn on the TV at night now, there's something to watch in the realm of sports that I never came across down in San Diego.
And here I am just watching America's Test Kitchen on Amazon.
I know, and I don't have cable, and I don't do antenna either. I just have Hulu. But in Hulu, you have to put in your address, and then based on your address, you get live for the plan that I pay for. You get live television for that market.
Why didn't you just lie before?
Because you have to set up a proxy to do it. Like you can lie, but it's it's figuring out your location. So like when I travel, if I go back down to San Diego and I try to run Hulu, it says, hey, you don't seem to be in this market anymore. You can't. I can still use Hulu. I just can't stream the live television anymore.
I thought you switched from Hulu Live to YouTube Live or YouTube TV.
No, other way around. I switched from YouTube TV to Hulu.
Oh, really?
A lot of people have been doing that.
Yeah, I'm real happy with it. I don't even. It's been so long now. Like when I was on YouTube TV, I mean, I'll cut it some slack. YouTube TV was still pretty new, but the Hulu, I don't know. I just like it. I like it, but it seems to have more selections. They have a lot of Hulu exclusive shit now. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of television, so I have a few shows that I watch, but I like to watch sports, and I have that now.
Interesting. Because I think I went the other way. I went Hulu Live to YouTube TV, and then YouTube TV has just been raising their rates nonstop. So they're as much as cable now.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like up to $70
Well,
a month now.
Oh wow, that does seem like a lot. I don't think
Because
Hulu's
it started at 35. I think when we first started looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
it was like $25 or $35 a month.
I pay for the top tier of Hulu's. I pay for like no commercials, which it's not no commercials. It's like no commercials on a lot of stuff, but still shows have like limited. It's almost worse. Like the shows that have commercials, you have limited commercials, and they're whoever pays for those commercials. So like they're the same 3 commercials every commercial break.
Local TV here is like that too.
Really?
I have seen so much of Mike Lindell, the My Pillow trader, just all over TV here. It is
so to be fair. Okay, John. The Hulu plan. So this is something that might interest you. The Hulu plan is $70 a month now, but you get Hulu Plus, which is basically all the television, all the extras.
Like,
or no,
I think I'm
TV.
paying for Hulu Plus right now.
Okay, so that's all TV ads. It also has Disney Plus and ESPN Plus now included.
Which
so all that is actually included.
Which I'm paying for Disney Plus as well.
So if you're paying for that separately, it's supposed to automatically sync up your account, and you should be getting credit on your Disney.
Right.
Disney account.
Yeah. So that's fine for the Hulu Disney thing, but so you're saying if I were to drop YouTube TV and switch to Hulu Live, I would save a little bit of money there.
Because because you're paying YouTube and Disney now. I see what you're saying.
Paying YouTube and Hulu.
Yeah. Well, I'm paying about $10 for my Usenet provider and indexer.
So we had a really interesting conversation about this in Discord about how certain cheapos don't like paying for open source software, but they'll pay for every new package that comes out of Spotty or Laravel.
Oh, but you might have to pay for open source software now. GitHub is announcing their sponsors only open source repos.
I mean, that's fine. If they want to do that, I think that's valid.
You can mark your repo as sponsors only, which means that if they pay then they can access the repo. But if they don't pay, they can't.
So how do they know they want your software?
I think it'll be once you're popular enough, you switch it over. You're not going to start out that way.
Yeah,
Like,
except that it
Like
except
I
that
think
it violates the two biggest open source licenses. That's the Apache and the Apache license.
How's it violated?
The Apache license says that you cannot charge for access to the source code, and the and the GNU license says free as in free, not free as in beer, and states that means.
I'm sure GitHub has thought of that, and if you enable that, it tells you have to switch to the MIT license.
No, actually, Richard Stallman himself spoke on this and said that what they're doing is fundamentally illegal, and they're gonna try and challenge it as soon as it goes into production.
I'm not sure how he can say it's fundamentally illegal, but I mean, he can definitely challenge it. And I don't think I would particularly be a fan of it, but I'm not opposed to it. I mean, the conversation we had in Discord today or yesterday was the fact that
was a good thread you started.
How many of these big companies use all this open source software and don't pay for it? Or they don't have to pay for it. That's the whole thing. Is nobody's asking you to pay for it. Just contribute a little bit back to the developer.
No, they're asking for money.
It's
sponsors. It's financial sponsors only.
No, he's talking about something different. You started typing.
I'm talking about the way it is now. Yeah, sure. I know you get tunnel vision when you start talking about a topic, Tom, and you want to get your idea across, and it's only what you're discussing. But other people have opinions and want to bring up other topics, so that's kind of what's happening here.
Sorry, what?
No,
somebody posted a picture of a cat in Slack. So
that really was a great thread about companies and what they're doing, where they spend their money and where they don't.
Well, Spady has a lot of code that's a postcard license. He mentioned this in his talk that you couldn't afford to go to. But
and basically, it's if you use any Spady package, which just about every Laravel
commercially.
Is it? Does he specify?
He specifies that if you're using it for yourself, you don't have to send him a postcard. But if you use it commercially, you have to send him a postcard.
And if anybody's wondering what that means, if that's some code for something, no, it's not. He literally wants you to send him a postcard in the mail.
Yeah. This isn't like an online furniture store thing where there's a child in the cabinet you ordered or something. It's real conspiracy theory. And if it's enforceable too, it's actually super enforceable. There was a Be Kind license in the 70s where if you played the game that was being distributed, you had to be kind to someone that day. And because this guy was a college professor who wrote this license, people argued the license in the legal teams at the school. And we were like, oh yeah, no, yeah, you have to do it. Oh boy, your kids are in Discord again.
It's the only way I get to talk to them anymore. Barely home.
This damn house is just so big.
I'm in my cave now. It's like I have no windows. The doors are closed. I don't see anybody anymore.
He's got to go down to the south wing to see anybody, and he's like, "Nah, it's too far."
I mean, how much do I really love them? I don't know.
You gotta just ask the butler to bring him up to you once in a while, for crying out loud.
It has. So, in all honesty, we're being funny. The house is not that big, but in all honesty, that our house is bigger than our previous house. But our previous house was very small, and everybody in the house has a bad habit. I do it. My wife does it. The kids do it.
Heroin.
They continue to talk to you as they walk away, and with the expectation that you're hearing everything.
I don't understand
it's like,
that.
You can be in places in this house where I can't hear you anymore. Like you're upstairs, you're in another room. I can't hear you.
I really wanted Echo to have a thing where I could just, like, it could hear me walking through the house and keep transmitting to the person I'm talking to.
That would be kind of cool.
No, wouldn't it be freaky?
Everything's
That's crazy.
cool is freaky at first.
That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly. Then
Yeah.
you learn to embrace it.
Shit
guess
is
what I
freaky. Panic after my first bump.
Guess what? I start in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Hope you're not flying because there's a history
I'm
of.
So excited. Yes, I'm flying. Start my paragliding lessons. It's official. Last week I talked about actually paying for it 5 minutes prior to the show. Finally got it booked. Starting 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Man, I mean, I got Microsoft Flight Sim, and I'm set.
I'm walking off a cliff with a big parachute on my back.
Right, you're describing what I don't want to do.
Well,
I'm describing
what I don't want to do too.
I'm describing
So
a
it kinda
sensible
works.
thing. I don't understand that.
I'm looking forward
impulse.
to being a sole proprietor. So
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I'm
so-
rooting him on.
That's the depressing part. Like, I've known for years I need life insurance. I finally start looking into it to set my wife and kids on the right path in case something happens. Yeah. Have a heart attack? They're like, fuck you, we don't want your money.
Nope.
Like,
Not.
damn
not at all.
it.
I did. I mean, to let you know, you guys know this. I'm sure a lot of listeners know this. I went through a whole cancer thing, chemo, blah blah blah. It took, I think, 10 years post chemo before a life insurance agent would even talk to us about life insurance. And even then, my life insurance was through the roof.
because it's a scam.
It is. It's such BS, man.
If there's
Well,
any
I mean-
chance of you dying, they won't cover you because
Well,
they
of
don't want to
course.
pay anybody. And if you
If you have any history of almost dying, they're going to cut you off.
right. And I was going to say, if you make poor decisions like having a heart attack and then deciding to take up paragliding, they're not going to cover you.
Maybe not talk about paragliding on a podcast that's publicly accessible might be a bad idea, but I don't know. That's just me.
I'm sure if I didn't disclose that I was going to be doing that, there would be an exclusion in the policy.
Holy God! You told them? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I was going to go paragliding after this heart attack, but I just want to make sure my insurance is up to date. Hello?
I just want to
Hello?
see if I can
Hello?
kick in another heart attack. I'm gonna jump off a cliff, see if I have another heart attack. If not, I figure I'm good.
I know.
You guys are
Life
going to be
insurance,
so jealous.
life insurance is a
That's all.
scam.
Oh,
Absolutely
totally
not jealous.
Yeah. Wait,
I'm
be
of the
buying
size. I'm
a
of the size
GoPro.
when I go to an extreme sporting thing, they're like, no. The
John,
door to get in is extra small on purpose. You can't even enter the building.
that I love the GoPro idea. I think that should post to our Patreon supporters page. Be a Patreon exclusive.
Yes. And maybe live leak if it goes poorly.
A good producer would have thought to put the Patreon supporters.
maybe he
on.
did. We can't see his page right now, so we don't know.
Yeah, maybe I did.
That's true.
You don't know.
That's a good. Nope. I watched the stream. No, he hasn't. There it is.
I want to know what the lag on the stream is because I think there's barely any lag now.
Well, next time you show up, we'll do a quick test. We do have a new patron, Jackson W. Welcome to the club, Jackson. All right,
Thank you,
man.
Jackson.
We have a new logo too, which is on this page, but not on any of the pages I'm in charge of. So if you want to see the new logo, it's on screen right now.
Learn it, live it, appreciate it.
All right, so now I'm committed to getting a GoPro, and it will go on the Patreon page.
Okay. Well, Diego Dev has GoPros, John. If you want to save some money,
Yeah, save several $100s.
I need to.
But
Is it
the new GoPro 9 black plastic?
No,
Whatever.
I'm sure it's not.
no, you're not allowed to have that one. That one's
You
expensive.
need to go.
I
you
know
need to-
nothing
they
about
have-
GoPros.
hey, they have GoPro 360s. is probably what you want.
I do.
I think that's a valid business expense. I do.
Todd looking at us like, what?
Yeah, I mean, my pedals, my Steam, my OBS pedals haven't gotten here yet. By the way,
Have you been reading How to Hack Your Home with a Raspberry Pi?
yeah, I'm all the way up to this issue, which gets you up to the fully installed lamp stack.
There you go. Well, just keep purchasing subscriptions, and we'll get there one day.
All right.
Hey, John, I don't know if you want to share this in the stream or not. So
Too late.
just
I
give me.
guess
But I'm gonna do it.
Here. All right, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still.
That's
on
not how you
tab.
count seconds. It's 1 1,000,
Yep,
2 1,000.
there it is. It just the stream just came off Patreon just now.
All right, so we're a couple seconds quicker.
Yeah.
I like you're counting
Do
them.
we
1,
want to talk
2,
about
3.
any future computing purchases?
I'm fine with that. I've decided to. So full disclosure, my wife's Mac is like on its last legs. So we're doing the whole. I'm going to get something new and do the pass down. She's going to get my current Mac
How long have you been
And-
doing that? Because my wife won't do it anymore.
all the time. Like my wife is not a computer person in the sense that she doesn't care.
Oh yeah,
It's just
oh
the
yeah. But last
MacBook Air-
time I went to the AT&T store, I was like, "Oh, that's nice," and she goes, "Fuck you! It's my turn," and she gets the new phone.
Nope. My wife doesn't care. She hates technology. Anytime she gets something new, she just got an Apple Watch. I'm like, do you want to open the box? She's like, no. So I get to open it and mess with it first. She's got a MacBook Air from 2013, 14. I mean, it's an old machine and it lasts her maybe an hour on the battery. It's like dropping quickly, if that long. So anyway, I'm ready to switch on. So I'm getting a System76. What did I go with? The Lemur Pro.
Well, I don't
Mono?
know. That's
Yeah.
what I was waiting to hear.
Yep.
Oh, did you order it?
Yeah. I told you I did.
All right. No, I don't think you told me you actually ordered it. I think you said you settled on it, but I wasn't sure if you actually ordered it.
No, I did.
Laptop? You got a laptop?
I got a laptop because I'm going to be at the paragliding grounds for hours and hours at a time. I'm going to be able to get there early. I can work from there in the morning. I can work there on my lunch break. I can work in the air while I'm flying around. So you'll see me on the 360 while I'm in the air coding.
Interesting.
That's the
All
way
right,
it
that's
works.
going to make an awesome commercial for PHP Architect. By air, by land, or by sea?
For
And you just-
PHP
you're
Architect?
paragliding, training.
For
God.
PHPUgly.
He can't podcast.
Sure he
He can't
can.
podcast when he's.
Yes, I want the Lemur Pro.
It's very nice.
It's their lightweight model.
Tom is so bitter on this whole topic.
I'm so annoyed with the System76 laptop. They've got what 6 or 7 different models. It's like just give me a comparison guide of like here's all the specs, like, and then here's all the models and what they have. It's so frustrating that they don't do that for you already. I almost did it, and I'm like, nah, it's too much work.
It's mostly about the screen. I'll tell you that.
No, it's screen, it's weight, it's there's a lot more than just screen. Screen is a big one. The graphics card is a huge one. The weight, the battery life that you can expect out of it, obviously is dependent on a lot of things, but
Yeah,
like
they don't
the
have
battery
they
that's
don't
in
have
it.
a compare page.
Right. So the Lemur Pro, super lightweight, battery is expected to last like 14 hours. But then you got the
Really?
the Onyx Pro, whatever their like desktop replacement, the batteries last like an hour.
Oryx.
So there's
But
like
you can cook a steak on it.
but there's like this huge difference. It's like, can you just lay it out? Like, show me what they are. And then the naming doesn't make any sense. It's named after animals or whatever else it's named after. And it's just not clear.
Well, I'm
Anyway.
excited. I'm excited you got that because that was one of the laptops I've been eyeing for years. And if I ever have to get another laptop, I think I may go that direction.
Yeah, it again comes down to if I'm going to work remotely for any reason, Docker on the Mac is such a dumpster fire that I don't want to do it again.
Really is. Yeah, it's just slow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Even on the new Macs?
It's slow comparatively.
Yeah, it absolutely rocks on Linux.
Oh yeah,
you don't even see a difference. It's just
well, and so I was alluding to this a little bit earlier, but Docker Desktop, which is like the package you install for OS X and Windows to have Docker on your system, is like no longer a free product. They are changing all of their stuff. It's a paid product. It's not much, but like it's stupid.
I want to get back to the laptop though. John, did you confirm or do you know, are you able to power that through USB-C?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure one of the reviews I saw said you could.
Because it does have a power jack to it.
Yeah.
And the power brick that comes with it is really small compared to others. So I saw that too. So I honestly don't know.
It does support 65 watt plus USB Type-C charging. 65 watts isn't a lot, but
that is nice. That is, I love the HDMI already in there. That's a nice looking laptop.
It is. But I have a question for you, Eric. Tiling and stacks. I am super frustrated, super annoyed. I like it when it works for me. I'm running into a couple of issues. I come in the morning and for some reason my new widescreen monitor goes into sleep mode. So if I log in and then turn it off and back on, my stacks are all over the place.
Okay, I had that issue initially as well. Under your display settings, see if you have HIDPI daemon enabled. If you do,
HDCPI.
disable it. HIDPI is what it's called. HIDPI. It's under displays.
Yeah, I see it. It is enabled. So you're saying disable that?
Disable that. That should take care of that issue. If mode is enabled too, you can disable that as well.
It is.
Yeah. So disable both those things. Is fractional scaling enabled?
No.
Okay. So I had to disable both those. I had that exact same problem when I first started using stacks. So again, you have support. So you can open up tickets like I did, but that's exactly what I had to do to get it working.
I did. I just opened it and it got solved really quickly with you.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So turn that off and that problem should go away.
All right. So I have another issue that's happening all of a sudden. On my top monitor up here, I had 2 side-by-side stacks. Multiple times this evening, before and during the show, if on my stack on the left-hand side of it, I couldn't do anything in the window. As soon as I moved that stack somewhere else, I was able to interact with the window.
So I've had a problem where I couldn't move a window over to like another monitor, and I figured out that it's again under displays. The way I show them lined up made the system think that that spot of the other window I was trying to move to was inaccessible. So I had to make sure that it that lined up better. I don't know if that's the problem you're having. So you're saying you can't click on that window and you can't do anything with that window at all?
I was able to move the window to another stack, but within the actual application, I couldn't click on anything. So it was both in Slack. What else was it in? I think Discord. So I moved Discord down here. I literally couldn't change channels. I couldn't type in it. Nothing worked except I could drag it to another stack, and as soon as I did that, it worked fine.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that would be.
It's very frustrating.
Maybe it's the same issue. Maybe it's the same. I'm going to say it's the same issue. Turn off that HIDPI.
I'll try that and see what happens. Something else I noticed about the monitor, the new monitor I have, I can put two outputs to it, or two inputs into it actually, and then have two separate monitors within the one. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, split screen.
Yeah,
that's pretty common with those ultra wides.
So that is pretty cool. But I mean, obviously, like it just treats it as two monitors, right? Like it doesn't do anything like the mouse and all. You'd have to have two mice and all.
Well, I run Barrier.
Right.
That would be, man. That's like a great argument to get the bigger monitor too, huh?
Right.
So you would think that, but I actually, even with the monitors I have, which I think are only 34s, sometimes I'll be like sorting my stuff to make it optimally spaced out, and then I'll realize that like my code is over here, and I'm leaning in to look at like, is that which one is okay? Like I get too far away from my code sometimes. This is my current setup is this wide.
That's
a 35?
No, that's more than 34.
234s.
My 234s.
Oh.
So I have 234s. The Windows one is tiled to have two browsers, and the OS X one isn't tiled at all. And I have the OS X one at a different angle than the Windows one. But like I got these super hydraulic arms for everything, so I can like take my monitor and move it like above my head and facing down, and it's pretty slick.
That's what John's got, like the whole NASA control setup on his. I'm kind of envious with his setup right now.
I've got a buddy who does that. He's got the one of those curved ultra wides, and at the end he has a vertical monitor mounted.
Yeah, so I went with my 38-inch ultra wide on the bottom, and then my 227-inch above it. So you probably see me throughout this recording, like I keep looking up at other things up here. You're muted.
I've barely been watching this recording.
Yeah, you don't have to watch a recording. You can just watch us, how you interact with people. You kind of look towards
Dude, are we
people.
running that long? How long
Yes.
are we? Holy crap. That's it. We're done. That's episode 273. Are we done?
Yes. I said that like 45 minutes ago. We're running long. Okay, it was 5 minutes ago. But
15 minutes ago.
Was it really 15 ago?
It was 5, 6, 7 minutes ago now.
It just feels like it's running longer than it is.
All right. So real fast, just to backtrack, because Tom bullied his way through the whole first half of the show.
And I did.
I have to applaud Taylor on his
for putting on a very
Laracon
expensive
talk.
conference. Yep.
He was actually very humble. He was very appreciative of everybody within the ecosystem of Laravel. And it's always good to hear that from him. So I was happy to hear that.
Do you think he listens to the show? Because that was your biggest complaint for a long time, was he did not embrace the community around it.
I said that one time at one conference, and my God, did I hear it. I mean, like from Taylor himself. I mean, Taylor reached out to me as well. And it's like, what do you mean? What did you mean by that? And I'm like, yeah, I stated my case, and I mean, we're still talking to each other occasionally, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, I mean, I pride myself of being a critic of Laravel when Laravel needs to be criticized, and I'm a critic of Taylor when Taylor needs to be criticized. I'm a fan of Laravel. I think I say that as well, but yeah, I definitely called him out the one year where I felt like he didn't acknowledge the community. And again, that was that same year that I kind of came to terms with the fact that the Laravel ecosystem is not the community that I particularly, how I envision a community. And so, I have a tendency to call it an ecosystem. Taylor calls it an ecosystem. A lot of people call it an ecosystem in Laravel, and I think it's a better representation of what that environment's like. So there's nothing particularly wrong with it. It's just a different understanding of what it is, and I had to come to terms with that. But it is still good to see Taylor appreciating all the package contributors, all the contributors to Laravel. That was nice. So I do want to. I did just like when I criticize him for not doing it. I wanted to make sure I give him some credit when credit is due. So good job, Taylor.
All right, maybe I'll go watch this stream at some point.
All right.
So is it
is that it?
Was it available for everybody? I'm trying to buy
Yeah,
time
yeah.
while Tom
Here,
finishes up what he's doing.
You're doing a great job. I think we posted it to Discord. It might be in Trello. Let me double check. It completely is not. Let me grab that for you really quick. But yes, it's out there. It's on their YouTube channel. It's just available online.
Good job, Tom.
Good job, Tom. Look at you.
Hopefully it's not on any of my other pages. It is all over the place.
On every page. All right, where's that? Watched on YouTube. Here we go. Stop talking. I don't want to hear you talk. Okay. All right, I'm posting it to Trello now, and then you can go look at it later. Boom, boom. Also, if you are curious about Laravel 9, Jeffrey Way has a fantastic video of everything new in Laravel. Not everything. A good majority of the new stuff in Laravel 9.
It's probably 45 minutes. It better be everything.
So go check out Jeffrey Way's. I've already posted that one to Discord because I didn't think I was ever going to get around to talking about it because of issues, but I did. So there we go. Okay, I think that's it. Episode 273 is in the book. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it
Keep
ugly.
it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet.
It's going out
like
to
my
YouTube,
freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly because it's not professional.
All right, Eric,
but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm speaking out perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like I promised. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the program.
Damn you,
About to break
Charlton.
it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man.
Somewhere around there.
This is hilarious.
Tom, where did I put that at? Images?
Images 2022 directory.
There you go. Got it. Thank you.
And I think I'm using the wrong one here still, but whatever.
Oh, it's too big. I need to shrink them down to make them emojis. God damn it.
Yeah, social media files.
Oh yeah,
smaller.
No. Those are like banners for different social media photos.
Yeah, 2014 to 2017 Mazdas in Seattle, like specifically Seattle, are just permanently stuck on NPR now.
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
It's hilarious.
All right, hippie, just calm down. We're having a conversation here.
Oh, come on. Let me grab the logo.
YouTube thumbnail. Hey, I need to hold on one second. All right. John, take your headphones off and give me a screaming pose.
Screaming?
A look of terror.
Terror? I don't know terror.
Take hold on, dude. Wait a minute. Take your glasses off.
What?
Take your glasses off.
Man, you are. What else you could have me do? I'm kind of worried. What's our safe
In
word?
your shirt.
Do we have a
your
safe word?
Succotash.
God, I hope that's not your real safe word.
Why am I actually making noise? I don't get it.
All right, that'll work. I'll use one of those.
I don't know why I was actually making noise. I realized it was a screenshot.
I don't...
To make the face, I had to go. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, so
Make this end,
apparently the NPR station in Seattle sent out an
hold on. Before you talk, whoever joined us today specifically to watch John demo Xdebug, I apologize full-heartedly.
Yeah.
Okay,
He made a mistake by
told
saying
him-
I was going to do that.
No, I did not make a mistake.
He made a
You
huge
punked out.
mistake.
You punked out, you freaking hippie. You punked out,
I didn't punk
and
out.
I apologize.
We are an
It's
audio
uncalled for.
podcast. We are an audio podcast.
Not that. Nope.
We're
Not
an
anymore.
audio podcast. It made no sense
So,
to do this live. We could have
I'm
talked about
sorry.
Xdebug. You should have brought it up. We could have talked about it all you wanted.
I would have.
We are an
Tom
audio
wouldn't stop
podcast.
talking.
It makes no sense to do it visually. There are plenty of other YouTube videos that go over it visually. We could have just talked about it.
That reminds me, the Xdebug news was today. Why did that not get? I lost that tab.
I swear to God, I'm gonna start streaming my working day, and just
You know what else we didn't do?
Did that? But what is this? Did you deploy a bot to something, Eric? Like 4 minutes ago?
Mm-mm.
This is your.
No.
This is the beginning of your direct message history with @elephant. GG on leveling up. You can type /rank to see your rank card in PHP community.
What are you talking about? Where's
Oh,
that at?
I've been talking in PHP in the PHP community Discord. Maybe I did something cool to get ranked up.
Jesus God, man, what's wrong with you?
You know what we didn't discuss?
it says you can type /rank to see your rank card, and then I do it. It says, "Don't know who that is. Can't PM." I don't get it.
Phil Sturgeon joined the Discord, and we didn't mention that.
That's cool though, right?
That's so cool.
It is.
Yeah.
A little scary.
Somebody.
I was excited.
Oh yeah, the Super Bowl halftime show. We didn't talk about that either.
Well, yeah, because that's
Excited about that.
that's
Kalen.
the only reason to watch.
Kalen is trying to find reasons to be let go, like to be at the top of the short list for being let go. I don't know why
But
that is.
dropping databases wasn't enough.
Oh,
That
looks horrible.
I can let go.
That looks horrible.
Calling me out on Discord again.
Why?
What
What did
looks so-
Caleb say?
Called me a hippie.
Oh, that's a
He's-
compliment
he's-
coming from Caleb.
He's not afraid of me. He's like, "Pfft, get out of here.
He knows we're screwed without him.
He's like, you don't scare me.
So Derek Rathens is going to be creating an Xdebug class.
Oh, I wonder if you need somewhere to sell and have that as training.
He's also
I know-
working
I
on
know company.
He's working on an Xdebug recorder and replayer, which lets you record a full request in a file and replay it. That's cool.
Technically, you can do that if you just route it through ngrok. And then you go to their nice little UI and you just replay it.
I love ngrok. It's
Oh,
just-
interesting.
How you guys doing on Wordle?
Fantastic.
I got my wife playing it.
Yeah. I had
She's a smart one.
a buddy of mine pulled off a one guess win on like Monday, and then another buddy of mine pulled off a one guess win on Wednesday.
But how
crazy.
are they pulling it off?
They're
They're swearing
There's-
that they had no outside help.
I know they didn't.
Because I've had it in one of my friends on the day the word was moist.
Yes,
And
I think a lot of people got that word on one guess because that was what my buddy got.
Because it gets posted on, like, I saw it on Facebook. One of my friends got it in like 3 guesses and said, my daughter wouldn't like this word or whatever she said.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then there
don't
was
do that. I block those people.
Then there was that's very rare. She never does that. And then there's comments in there, and then someone's like, oh, I think I know what the word is. And like, oh, I got it in one guess.
No, I've got friends that play it like at midnight.
Yeah, that's me. I'm normally 12:30 playing.
Oh, really?
I started
It's
I
like-
started at midnight, but sometimes I won't get it done till like 5 p.m. I'll be stuck on it, and I'll just keep it in my head for a
Why
day.
are you not in advanced mode, by the way? Put it in advanced mode
Why?
because it's in a mode that you should be in. Why would you not be in advanced mode?
Because I want to win.
You can win in not in. You can cheat. Look at the JavaScript and you get the word list.
You can cheat. Just look it up.
Yeah.
There's a today's Wordle Twitter, which just gives you today's Wordle word.
Yeah.
I don't cheat.
You can also just look in the JavaScript and it appears that the words are in there in order that they're going to show up.
Someone did that, and I think after they did that, it got updated, so it no longer does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, Discord. I
Um,
need a title Discord. I'm
Dude, John
between
jumps off a cliff.
progressively more aggressive or John flying high.
No, John jumps off a cliff.
No, John flying high.
oh, is that why I
Hello,
was? Is
hello.
that why I was screaming?
I think so. I think that's why you were screaming.
Oh.
Jumps off a cliff is
Well,
better.
Shouldn't I be smiling and enjoying life at that point because I'm excited about it?
I'm trying to be real here, John. I'm trying to be real. I could have you peeing your pants. Matter of fact, you may be peeing your pants. I got to see how I'm feeling here.
So I had a friend that has a gift certificate for a tandem flight at the place I'm going to, and they won't use it, so they gave it to me. I'm like, I've paid for lessons. I'm about to go on like 50 tandem flights without. I don't need another one. So now I have a gift certificate that I'm going to be giving away. Would you like it? Do you want to go on a tandem flight? Just kidding.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Are you talking to
already
me?
giving it away. Yeah.
I would love to see that.
I just deleted yours. Post yours again, Tom, because you got in between my votes there. All right, Discord. If you're still here, vote on which title you want. So it doesn't. My answer doesn't matter because you already gave it away. Is that what you're telling me? Do I know who you gave it away to, John?
What are you talking about?
Did you give it away?
I have not given it away yet.
You gave it away to somebody already, didn't you?
I have not given it
It's
away
to
yet.
it's to that other person, isn't it?
What other person? I have not given it away
Okay.
yet.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, Tom knows
Mhm.
who it is.
Ooh,
The
what do you
the
guys-
only person.
Mhm.
I was going to say the only person that Eric really holds a grudge against, but that does not narrow it down at all.
Not really. There's just so many of those.
Could be any number of people.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Where's your poll? What are you talking about?
He didn't do it as a poll. He doesn't. You can
Oh,
just
up there.
yeah. I am bummed by the performance of my machine today.
Yes, that was terrifying, but we'll figure it out.
Well, I'll just reinstall Windows on the weekend and
I'm
done
sure
with
you'll
it.
figure it out. Yeah. Sure, it's just. I mean, you don't think you can just update the drivers and it'll figure out? Hey, you got a new.
I think
motherboard
the
here.
computer has other issues. This is a 5 or 6 year old install of Windows that has had a lot of software installed and removed and installed and removed. It really is best to be just wiped and restarted. You know, it was funny though. So I swapped motherboards, which, by the way, if you didn't know this, swapping the motherboard out of a PC, 3-hour process. Like it took fucking time. I swapped motherboards out and I put my old motherboard into this machine, the desktop, and the whole
I like
brain.
that. This machine right here, the one I'm talking about, it's right
Yes.
here.
Well, the desktop's over there. The Steam box is over there. The gaming machine got everything fancy and new, and my desktop got all the old gaming machine parts. And all of a sudden,
Yeah, my cabin.
Barrier stopped working. I couldn't mouse over to my Mac machine. It's like, why would Barrier stop working? Everything is working perfectly except Barrier. And I realized that I'm using the onboard network card. So my router was like, "Oh, hey, you moved. You're on a different port now." And it gave me the Steambox's IP address and gave the Steambox my desktop's IP address, or a new IP address. So I just it just changed IPs because I changed motherboards, but it was the one I knew that my Steambox used.
Come on up here.
Oh yeah, you got cats.
Drink some scotch.
We discovered that my dog was peeing on one of the support beams downstairs in the basement. He would
Awesome.
He'd run downstairs and just pee on one of the support beams.
Okay.
My wife just goes to clean it up and she asked me, "Hey, do you have a blacklight?" I was like, "Actually, I do have a very powerful blacklight." And so I pulled out the blacklight, and as you do when you get a blacklight, you shine it on everything in your house before you actually
Gross.
use it for what you're going to use it for. And wow, having pets is disgusting. There was, I was told I can't call it pee because it's not necessarily pee, but organic matter everywhere in the living room, fucking where the dog would run in and out of the house to the backyard. There's just trails of bright glowing neon. Is so terrifying. So yeah, if you have a blacklight, don't do that to yourself. Don't know what you live with.
Ignorance is bliss.
It really is. It was so gross. And then the next day, I'm sitting here working. I have all of my shoes in a pile. and my cat walks up to the pile of shoes and full on vomits over all of them.
Gross. All right, I'll be back.
Like, why? Who's your kitty?
This is Bug, or Feature, depending on
Hi, Bug.
your disposition. Yeah, he is a very affectionate cat. I've got to say, he's as far as the cats go, he's one of the more affectionate ones I've ever owned.
You should see my cats, because I lay down to take a nap after work, and one cat goes on this side and the other cat goes on this side, and they just pin me on my bed like this.
This is the only place he will cuddle with me, and he has to be up on me, and it's only when I'm sitting at my keyboard. And any other time I'm laying in bed, any other place he won't lay with me. But here, for whatever reason, he loves laying.
Here, I've got to show some pictures off to the chat. Here's the doggy. Copy link. Oh, actually, I could just copy the image. Oh, you can't in Google. Nice.
Here, Discord, I'm sending you the YouTube thumbnail. Maybe I'm sending it. I don't know. I know, buddy. You're just, all right. Lay down. All right. Good night. Ah,
That's the doggy. Here's here, you'll like this one.
There you go. There's a YouTube thumbnail.
That's pretty good.
Right?
This is the wife and non-binary at a mud run. Isn't that cool? I got her so they gave her like a medal after finishing it. And so for Christmas I made her a shadow box that had this picture and the medal inside of it.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it worked out really well. All right.
See, now he's getting mad because I keep trying to work, so he's grabbing my other arm, so
Last
I stop
one.
doing stuff.
This is the kitties.
Now I'm getting bit. I'm getting bit because I won't pet him, so he starts gnawing on me. And I don't know if you can hear him purring, but he's absolutely enjoying himself.
Yeah. The purring is an odd behavior with cats because it's very hit or miss. It doesn't always mean what you might think it means. That's the kitties. And naturally, the only picture I have of the boys is like 10 years old now. They prefer not to be...
of your actual children?
Yeah, well, the daughter will have no problem being on camera, but the boys run.
All right, what I miss?
Yeah, would you lay down? Lay down.
This is my dog being upset that he's being forced to stay in his cage while I feed the cats.
You kennel your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, I do both mine.
We
finally got the pug to sleep all night in her crate.
So we got a very large kennel for him, and his kennel is not a timeout. So if he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing, his kennel is not like the punishment. His kennel is his safe space where he can go and rest when he wants to. And the kids aren't allowed to like climb in and pet him while he's in there. They have to lure him out. And so like his kennel is his space. And they're much more willing to like live in a kennel and sleep in a kennel if it's not a punitive place, if it's just that's their room. Yeah.
Good job on the that whatever it's called.
A YouTube thumbnail.
Thumbnail. That's the word I was looking for.
This is when we just got my dog the first time. Oh, it's
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks for hanging out with us. Frank, our newest contributor to PHP Architect. Is that a secret? Should I have said that?
I got to get my boss to accept your invitation for the PHP Architect.
You totally do. I get your old boss to do it too.
Yeah, he messaged me happy birthday. It was very sweet.
Was it your birthday?
It was 2 weeks ago. This is when we just got him. Little puppy.
You're killing me, Cap.
Little
Much cuter
puppy.
than
bear.
puppy.
Yeah. God, my wife lied to me and said, "Oh, he'll be small. He'll be like a medium-sized dog." And then even after he was big, I was like, "He's a big dog." She's like, "No, he's not a big dog. He's technically a medium-sized dog." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I believed her. And then one day she asked me to fill up his food thing. I go into the garage to fill it up out of the bag, and it's Purina for large breeds. And I was like, I fucking knew it.
How big is he?
He's like Akita sized, or
Like, how much does he
like
weigh?
a husky.
Just
He's like a husky.
Like, how much does he weigh?
I have no
roughly?
idea. I really couldn't tell
Like,
you.
Not even a rounded ballpark. Mine's roughly 30 pounds.
I don't know. Like 75.
Yeah, it's a big dog.
You asked me for a number. I just made a number up.
Okay, but if it's 75, that's a big dog.
Yeah, he's a big boy. And he like plays a lot. Like, he exercises a lot every day. He's not just like a present in the house. He goes to the dog park a couple times a day usually, and then like for walks, and then like we have to play with him every night or else he's wired.
All right. Calling it a night.
Alrighty. Have a
Thanks
wonderful
everyone
evening.
for hanging out with us. Appreciate it.
Stopping stream.